everyone, it's JG here with EARTH-5D University, back for another teaching where you are the light, the path, and the way, my friends. So today I want to talk about why you should consider pursuing a spiritual path, okay? And so just because people say they're spiritual doesn't necessarily mean that they are, right? You can carry around your bottle of kombucha and attend yoga classes, even claim to meditate, and still not be spiritual. So let's dig into what I mean by this, okay? So why consider a spiritual path, right? Why even consider the path to spirituality? And the reason why I feel like I would encourage everyone to follow a spiritual path, as opposed to being like agnostic or an atheist, or maybe even heavily into religion or religiosity, would be the number one reason is to get to know yourself and why you're here on this planet. So it's the number one question I ask people when they come to me for spiritual guidance is, why are you here? Why are you here on this planet? What is the point? It's a lot of hassle, right? It's a lot of beauty, but there's a lot that we as human beings go through. So I would ask you today, who are you and why are you here? Okay? And when you begin to answer this question, life begins to take on a lot of meaning, okay? Because you begin to understand why you're here. You begin to understand who you are as this oftentimes complex being, all right? So some people like Elon Musk say that life is a simulation, right? And discovering the nature of reality is a very important reason why you are here, is to discover what this place is and how you fit into it. And so I would encourage you today, when you are considering, obviously you clicked on this video, so you're considering a spiritual path. Oftentimes we're led to a spiritual path through hardship, through change, through difficulty, right? And we decide we want to make a change in our lives. And I would highly encourage you to make that change. Now, you don't have to meditate to be spiritual. You don't have to go to yoga to be spiritual. What you want to do is be fully yourself. And how you do that is learning to become fully present to who you are. And I would venture to say that who you are is much bigger than you would imagine. It's much bigger than they told you you were. It's much more, you are much more complex. So in modern psychology, we're taught, that if we go within ourselves, that there's probably a lot in us, like the ego and the super ego, etc., and parts of ourselves that you probably don't want to see, that you might not want to know. But I would venture to tell you that inside of you is creation itself. Inside of you is in the infinite cosmos that lives within you. So why pursue a spiritual path? To get to know yourself, to figure out why you're here, and to understand creation. And on top of this, so if being spiritual doesn't require meditating, if it doesn't require eating a certain way, being vegan, and doing all these external variables, then what does it require? And I would invite you today to consider that being spiritual requires being authentic, and authentically being yourself, which is the opposite of fake spirituality. So in fake spirituality, you're trying to be pious, you're trying to be all these things, you're trying to be a good kid. Like the firstborn child, you're trying to be the good kid, right? You're trying to fit in with God so that God loves you and that you are, devout, or you're acting divine. But I would venture to say, guys, that the more ascended that I get as a person, as JG, Jen Gordon, then the more real I get as a person, the more and more humane I get, the more and more depth I get into my humanity. So this isn't about escaping the body. This isn't about getting out of your body's way and, you know, becoming an expert on the chakra system, right? No. Being spiritual means fully present in yourself, fully present in your body, fully present as the you that you are, that you have embodied on this planet, that you have chosen. You've chosen this shell, this figure to hold your spirit, right? So what does your spirit want to do? That's spiritual. Why are you here? That's spiritual. You know, sports, very spiritual, right? It's sports and embody your career. These are all spiritual places to express yourself, to express your uniqueness. And that is what I believe is to be spiritual, is to express your unique you. So it doesn't mean doing harm to yourself. So a lot of times we believe in denial of self, and Christianity and many of the major religions on this planet have taught that self-denial and denial of self is often spiritual. I would say no to that. I would say that that isn't true, that it is fully being present to yourself, it's fully being human, it's fully enjoying a meal. You know, if you're going to eat meat, enjoy the heck out of it, right? If you're going to go for a surf, enjoy the heck out of it. If you're going to go for a bike ride, enjoy the heck out of it. That is being spiritual. It is being fully present to your body here on earth. So I just wanted to touch on that today, because so many of us are trying to get out of ourselves. We're trying to ditch ourselves, to leave ourselves and say goodbye to self. You know, goodbye to eating like what you like, goodbye to watching the movies that you like, goodbye to, you know, don't do that. Be fully present to you, and you will discover what it means to be a spiritual being. All right, guys, that's what I have for you today. So much love and light. Thank you for being here. If you need your own spiritual guidance and direction, feel free to hit me up. My information is linked down below. I hope you have a beautiful day or night wherever you are. Bless you. Much love.